Good. You're Robert Felix.
Yes, ma'am.
And come on up, ma'am. Let me get this pulled up here. Good. And let's see, this is 21-38610 and 21-38611. Mr. Felix is on probation in each of those cases. One for manufacturing or delivering a controlled substance and the other for felon in possession of a firearm. I received an administrative hearing from Ms. Shoppa Bradley, and in it, the request was to schedule it for a judicial review. So you were in custody and released December 18th. And the stipulation was that you have a GPS monitoring device with 0 tolerance. And it looks like there have been several issues with that monitoring company, that the battery either hasn't been charged properly. Looks like you were out past curfew. January 2nd, on January 3rd. Also, claim that you have unstable housing. But you're supposed to be giving the information of which of the addresses you're staying at to your probation officer each day. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what's going on?
I really don't know what the address I'm staying at. Anytime I was out past curfew was because of work purposes. I was doing dashing. I gave her the receipts of proof for that. I have a job right now, Sparkling Image, putting on my CD.
At where?
Sparkling Image Wash Depot, and I also DoorDash. I've been on this monitor for 5 years, Judge. I paid over $14,000 since 2021. And the monitors wasn't really hindering me doing what I need to do. And
Well,
like I make the curfews, I lost my house and everything. That's
well,
why
here's the thing. This was your, hold on. For you to say that this is a hindrance to you and an imposition on you does not bode well with me. Hold on. All right. You're on probation for obviously 2 serious felony cases. You have some criminal history, obviously, because you're on probation for an unlawful possession of a firearm by felon. I get that probation's not fun. I get that you have to do things you don't want to do. That's what happens when you commit felonies. So coming in at that angle is not going to go well. Okay. You've had some issues. You were here and we required that monitor for a reason. And so I'm trying to look back and see, but I'm guessing the reason was that we had some issues with failure to show up, or what was the?
We initially did a judicial review there were some problems with the monitors and getting them to comply. We asked for a judicial review to see if he could get off of it, and he didn't show up for that hearing. And so that's what put him in jail. And then he did get out again. He initially had some trouble keeping it charged and everything, but once it was impressed upon him that this was not going to go away, of what he needed to take care of. The only problem is it's not feasible to have somebody that has unstable housing do a monitor, and while he's door dashing after 8 o'clock at night. I've checked his receipts. He does DoorDash. He's got receipts saying that he has, I didn't check every single one, Judge, but I've spot checked, and he is he's doing it. He's going to school, but this monitor is not acceptable way for me to try to supervise him.
Okay. So do you think it would be easier for him that you could actually supervise better without it?
I do.
Okay. All right, then. And here's the thing. It sounds like, Mr. Joseph, if you had showed up the other time you were supposed to be here, that was probably what was going to happen. And then I got mad that you didn't show up, and I'm going to make you keep the GPS. You see, the consequences just get worse and it could have been better.
I showed up last time. They sent me to a different courthouse in Port Arthur. I had the paperwork and everything. I've been screaming for help for years. I've been doing everything.
You've been coming to, you know what court you're supposed to come to when it's my date for you to come to court, because you've been
Right.
coming since you've been on the probation. So that's not, you know, if there's an issue here where you're supposed to be.
I just followed the last directive order. They sent me to put office that I had.
Who's they?
I had the info. I
So
can't.
here's the thing, things are going kind of well for you. You probably should quit coming up with excuses. Okay? Because it's probably one of my number one pet peeves. It's just to keep coming up. Just take the personal responsibility. Went to the wrong place, should have asked a bailiff. You know where the 252nd District Court is. You know the judge that's you're on probation for. So I'm going to, it sounds like you've got some really positive things going on and that you were in a bad place and you're working hard to get out of that. This isn't meant to make it harder on you, but you have to follow the rules and you have to show up, stay in touch. It sounds like your probation officer is willing to work with you through all of this kind of turmoil, with you not having a steady place to live. So take advantage of the fact that you've got a good one that's willing to work with you. Make sure you stay in touch with her. Let her know where you're staying. I know that's difficult because if you're changing places, you got to keep telling her, but keep doing all of that. You're going to be fine. Okay. So I'm going to I will allow the order that the GPS monitoring device be removed. That makes it all the more important though, that you stay in touch and she knows what you're doing, where you are and all of those things. Okay. All right, you're free to go. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Sinclair, in cause number 25 DCCR 0471, you're charged with a state jail felony offense of injury to a child, elderly, or disabled individual from March 11th March 11th of 2025. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you pleading guilty because you actually did what they charged you with?
Yes, ma'am.
I have here on the tablet some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you fully understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you will be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
And it looks like the agreement that you've reached is for a 5-year deferred probation. There would be a $1,000 fine. You would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation, including entering and successfully completing an anger management class, as well as complying with any of the rules of CPS. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
Yes.
State tenors number 1.
No objections, Your Honor.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Sinclair is not competent?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find that you're mentally competent and understand the nature and the consequences of your plea. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm going to reset your case for sentencing so that the probation department can do a pre-sentence report. That'll give me more information about you, your case, and then we'll come back later for sentencing.
Sorry to interrupt, Your Honor. The records, my file indicates this defendant has no criminal history if the court's inclined to waive the PSA.
As long as you're satisfied with the conditions, based on the nature of the offense.
I am.
Okay, then I will waive the pre-sentence report, Mr. Sinclair. Again, find at this time sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I am going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney. And at this time, defer all proceedings and place you on probation for 5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
You're ordered to pay that $1,000 fine and to follow all of those rules and conditions of probation, including complying with any safety plan the CPS has in place, as well as entering and successfully completing an anger management class.
Yes, ma'am.
If you do everything that you are supposed to and follow all of the rules and conditions on this probation, this is an excellent opportunity because you don't have a felony conviction on your record. And at the end of the probation period, if you have successfully completed it, the case will actually be dismissed. You'll never have a felony conviction. The other side of that, however, is if you violate any condition of probation, you could be brought back into court. You could be found guilty, and then you could go to the state jail prison for anywhere between 6 months and up to 2 years. Do you understand? Also, if you do everything that you're supposed to on this probation, it looks like this is something that's out of character. You don't have any history. I sign early terminations of probation all of the time. So if you get in probation, do everything you're supposed to, then after half or so of your probation, you could potentially get off early. I'm going to hand you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you waived your right to appeal. You need to have a seat here in the courtroom. Probation, she's sitting at that desk right over there. She'll call you up when she's ready to go over your paperwork.
Okay,
Thank you. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you, Ms. Simmons. And Mr. Closet.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're Jose Colazo,
So,
and this is 24 DCCR 1084 and 1085. Mr. Colazo's cases are set for trial to begin with jury selection on the 23rd, and that's the announcement.
Judge, the state is tentatively ready, if I may. I know we're a couple weeks out. I've yet to hear back from a couple of witnesses, if I may, speak to court maybe after docket or. Of course, I know, I need to let you know for.
We can be ready. Obviously, we are intending to be trying Austin Jones on the 23rd. There's,
Did they keep that court date over there?
I don't know. That was actually something I was gonna talk with you about at the break as well. But either way, we can be ready if
All right, so what I'll do is I'm going to potentially number it for now. So obviously one of the older ones, I know that Ms. Malfino is getting kind of caught up on these cases with Ms. French. And so if you guys want to visit after docket, that's fine, or see what you can find out before tomorrow.
Yes,
And I'll number the cases tomorrow after docket. Mr. Plaza, make sure you stay in touch with Mr. Gertz so that you know when you need to be back on the 23rd.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. You're free to go, sir. Okay. Good morning. Are you Christopher Stiles?
Yes, ma'am.
And in cause number 25 DCCR 0594, Mr. Stiles is charged with abandoning or endangering a child. And Ms. Simmons, what is the announcement?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. I know at the last setting, you did state this was going to be the last announcement. Mr. Galmore is actually out sick this morning and not able to make it into court. So we're asking if we could have just a brief one week reset to give him time to talk to his client. I know he wants to talk to his attorney as well.
So we're not in court next week, so he'll get 2 weeks.
Yes,
Make
ma'am.
sure you make an appointment, visit with Mr. Galmore so that we have an announcement at that next court date. So
Yes,
this will be the make sure the last.
Yes,
one.
Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You're free to go. Good morning.
Good
You're
morning.
Desiree Kirk.
yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Kirk's case is set for trial to begin with jury selection on the 23rd, and this is 24 DCCR 0518. And what is the announcement?
We're ready. Thanks for your trial, Judge.
Right, so it's like the last plea bargain rejection was back in September. And that was for a 10-year deferred probation. I do want to make sure you understand that after today, when I number the cases for trial, we'll not accept any plea agreements, if you understand.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want to go forward with your trial.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll number the cases tomorrow after docket. Mr. Kimler will have those the trial order. And so make sure you stay in touch with him, and then we'll see you back on the 23rd.
Okay.
All right, free to go.
Where facts meet emotion, justice finds its voice. To witness more real courtroom moments, subscribe to Law Nexus.